So let's dive into understanding the basics of business expansion today. When you think about growing your business, it's important to consider several key areas that will help you scale up successfully. First off, we'll look at market research and identifying new customer segments or geographic locations where demand for your product or service is high. This step involves a bit of homework, but can really pay off in the long run. After figuring out where to expand, it's crucial to assess your current resources. Do you have the funds, personnel, and infrastructure needed to support this growth? If not, you might need to secure financing or hire additional staff. Remember, expanding is all about leveraging what you already have while making smart investments for the future. Another important aspect of business expansion is adapting your existing products or services to appeal to new markets. This could mean creating lower-priced options for budget-conscious consumers or high-ticket items for luxury buyers. It's also worth considering if there are any emerging trends in technology or consumer behavior that you can capitalize on. Lastly, don't forget about the logistics involved in expanding your operations. Whether it's setting up a new office location, managing inventory across multiple sites, or coordinating with suppliers and distributors, planning ahead is key to avoiding bottlenecks down the line. It might seem daunting at first, but breaking it into smaller tasks can make this process more manageable. So there you have it. Understanding these basics of business expansion will help ensure your growth efforts are well thought out and sustainable over time. Let's dive into setting goals for growth in your notary practice. You're here because you want to take your business to the next level and maybe even become a high-ticket player in the industry. But how do we get there? Well, first things first, let's talk about defining clear goals that aren't just wishful thinking but actual measurable targets. Think of it like this. Instead of saying I want more clients, say something specific like I aim to increase my client base by 20% within the next year. That's a goal you can track and work towards. But it doesn't stop there. We need to break these big goals down into smaller, manageable chunks that are easier to achieve without feeling overwhelmed. Now, let's talk about identifying your niche. Notary services aren't just one-size-fits-all anymore. There might be a specific group of clients who could benefit from your expertise more than others. For example, if you specialize in real estate transactions or document signings for small businesses, focusing on those areas can help you stand out and attract high-paying clients. Next up is continuous learning. The notary world changes with new laws and regulations coming into play all the time. Staying ahead of these changes means you'll be a go-to expert whenever someone needs advice or services related to your specialty. Attending seminars, workshops, and webinars will keep your skills sharp and your knowledge current. Networking is another crucial part of growing your practice. Building relationships with other professionals can open doors to new business opportunities you wouldn't have found otherwise. Whether it's joining local business groups or attending industry conferences, making these connections could lead to referrals and partnerships that boost your reputation as a trusted notary. Finally, don't forget about marketing yourself effectively. In today's digital age, having a strong online presence is key. Update your website regularly with new information and testimonials from satisfied clients. Use social media platforms like LinkedIn or Facebook to share updates on the services you offer and engage with potential clients. To sum it all up, define clear goals, focus on your niche, keep learning, network like crazy, and market yourself effectively. These steps will help you grow your notary practice into something truly special. Let's dive into researching state laws and regulations because understanding them is key to staying compliant and avoiding legal trouble. When you're looking up information on your own, start by identifying which states have jurisdiction over your business operations. For instance, if you sell products online or operate across multiple states, each one might have its own set of rules. Once you know the relevant states, visit their official government websites to find the latest laws and regulations. These sites typically provide easy-to-navigate sections dedicated to different industries or topics like taxes, employment, environmental protection, and more. You can also look for publications such as bulletins or guides that summarize important updates and changes. If you're dealing with a specific issue like hiring practices or licensing requirements, try searching directly for keywords related to your needs. For example, if you want to know about hiring minors in your state, search for state law hiring minors. This can help you pinpoint exactly what you need without having to sift through every single regulation. Another helpful resource is the National Conference of State Legislatures website, which compiles laws from various states and makes comparisons easier. It's particularly useful when you're trying to see how one state's laws stack up against another's, or if there are any national trends emerging in certain areas. Don't forget about local municipalities, too, as they might have their own ordinances that affect your business operations within city limits. For example, a city might have strict zoning laws or permitting requirements for businesses operating within its borders. To stay on top of changes and updates, consider subscribing to newsletters from state agencies or joining professional organizations related to your industry. They often provide alerts about new legislation or upcoming regulatory changes that could impact your business. In conclusion, researching state laws and regulations involves identifying the relevant jurisdictions, visiting official government websites for detailed information, using targeted searches for specific topics, referencing resources like the National Conference of State Legislatures, considering local ordinances, and staying informed through subscriptions and professional networks. Today, we're diving into the world of compliance when it comes to new service offerings. It's crucial for any business looking to expand its services while maintaining trust with customers and meeting regulatory standards. Let's start by understanding what compliance really means in this context. Compliance involves ensuring that all your new services adhere to relevant laws, industry regulations, and internal policies. This isn't just about ticking boxes, it's about building a strong foundation for growth. First off, when introducing a new service offering, you need to thoroughly assess any legal requirements associated with the product or service. For instance, if you're launching a high-ticket item that involves financial transactions, you'll likely need to comply with specific banking and payment regulations. It's important to consult legal experts early on in this process. Next up is understanding industry standards. Depending on your field, there might be specific guidelines or certifications required for certain services. For example, if you're offering healthcare-related services, you'll need to meet HIPAA compliance standards. These aren't just suggestions, they're mandatory requirements that can impact the credibility and safety of your service. Customer expectations are another key area to consider. In many cases, customers will expect a certain level of quality or security from new offerings. This means conducting thorough research and possibly seeking feedback through surveys or focus groups before launching the new service. You want to ensure that what you're offering meets their needs and expectations while maintaining trust. Additionally, don't forget about internal policies. Your company might already have established procedures for handling data privacy, risk management, and quality assurance. Make sure these align with your new offerings. For example, if your existing policy mandates regular audits for software products, ensure the same applies to any new digital services you introduce. Lastly, it's important to monitor compliance continuously once the service is launched. Regular reviews help identify potential issues early on and address them swiftly. This might involve setting up periodic checks or using automated tools that track performance metrics against regulatory requirements. In conclusion, ensuring compliance for new service offerings involves a comprehensive approach from legal assessments to industry standards, customer expectations, internal policies, and ongoing monitoring. By addressing these areas proactively, you can launch services confidently while maintaining the trust of your customers and meeting all necessary regulations. Today, we're diving into an exciting area of our industry, exploring emerging trends in notary services. As technology continues to evolve rapidly, notaries are finding new ways to adapt and provide better service to clients. One trend gaining traction is digital signatures. No longer do you need to be physically present to sign important documents. With secure online platforms, notaries can now facilitate remote signings, making it easier for people in different locations to complete their paperwork seamlessly. Another interesting development is the rise of high-ticket services specifically tailored to businesses and high-net-worth individuals. These notaries are experts in complex legal matters such as corporate structuring or estate planning. They offer specialized knowledge that goes beyond standard notarial acts, adding significant value for clients dealing with intricate financial and legal issues. On the regulatory side, there's been an increase in requirements for continuing education among notaries. This ensures professionals stay up to date on new laws, technologies, and best practices. It reflects a growing emphasis on professionalism within the field and helps maintain public trust. Lastly, many notaries are embracing mobile service options to reach clients wherever they are. Whether it's meeting someone at their office or home, this flexibility can be incredibly convenient for busy professionals or those who prefer in-person interactions but don't want to travel far. In conclusion, these emerging trends highlight the evolving nature of notary services. From digital innovations to specialized expertise and improved accessibility, notaries are adapting and growing alongside technological advancements and changing client needs. Today, we're diving into the world of expanding your business portfolio by analyzing market needs. It's all about identifying those gaps in the marketplace that no one else is filling, right? So let's start off with why this is important. Expanding your offerings can lead to increased revenue streams and customer loyalty. When you listen closely to what your customers are saying or what they need, you're giving yourself a competitive edge. It's like adding a new flavor of ice cream when everyone else has only chocolate and vanilla. First up, let's talk about conducting market research. This isn't just about looking at trends, it's also about understanding the nitty-gritty details that make your customers tick. Use surveys, social media listening tools, or even direct customer feedback to gather insights. It's all about digging deep into what drives them. Next, we need to identify those high-ticket opportunities within this research data. These could be products or services where there's room for growth, but also a higher investment from your customers. For example, if you're selling skincare products and notice that more people are looking for advanced anti-aging solutions, then focusing on premium serums or treatments might be the way to go. Another key step is assessing competitor offerings. Take a look at what your competitors are doing right now. Are there gaps in their portfolios? Maybe they haven't introduced something yet because it's too risky, but you can seize that opportunity and make it your own unique selling point. After identifying these opportunities, it's time to brainstorm how to incorporate them into your existing business model without disrupting current operations too much. Think about phased introductions or partnerships that could help ease the transition. Lastly, don't forget about marketing these new offerings effectively. Tailor your messaging so potential customers can clearly see why this new product or service is valuable for them. Highlight unique features and benefits to stand out from the crowd. In summary, expanding your portfolio by analyzing market needs involves thorough research, identifying high-ticket opportunities, assessing competitors, integrating smoothly into existing operations, and marketing effectively. It's all about staying ahead of the curve and meeting customer demands in a way that sets you apart from others. So there you have it. This process can be quite exciting as you explore new avenues for growth and innovation within your business. Let's dive into creating a comprehensive business plan. Imagine you're building a house. Every part needs to fit perfectly together for it to be strong and sturdy. Similarly, your business plan is like that blueprint for success. It guides you through all the necessary steps to launch and grow your venture. First up, let's talk about understanding your market. You need to know who your customers are, what they want, and why they would buy from you specifically. This is where market research comes in. It helps you identify trends, target demographics, and potential competitors. It's like knowing the terrain before a big hike. Next, we'll tackle developing your business model. Think about how you're going to make money and serve your customers effectively. Will you sell products or services? What's your pricing strategy? How will you deliver value? This is where the nitty-gritty details come into play, things like cost analysis, profit margins, and sales projections. Then comes crafting a clear mission statement. A mission statement is essentially what sets your business apart from others. It should succinctly convey your core purpose and values. For example, if you're running an eco-friendly bakery, your mission might be to provide delicious treats while minimizing waste. Next up, we'll discuss planning for operations. This includes outlining day-to-day activities like production processes, inventory management, and employee roles. Think about how everything will run smoothly once the business is up and running. It's important to have a well-thought-out system in place so that your team knows exactly what their responsibilities are. We can't forget about financing either. Determine startup costs, funding sources, and ongoing expenses. You'll want to create a detailed financial plan, including projected income statements, cash flow analyses, and break-even points. This helps ensure you have enough funds to sustain the business until it becomes profitable. Lastly, let's talk about marketing and sales strategies. How will you attract customers? What makes your product or service unique in comparison to others on the market? Identify key selling points that appeal directly to your target audience. Utilize digital tools like social media, SEO, and email marketing to reach potential clients effectively. In conclusion, a comprehensive business plan is an essential tool for any entrepreneur looking to succeed. By thoroughly researching your market, developing a solid business model, crafting a clear mission statement, planning operations meticulously, securing financing, and implementing effective sales and marketing strategies, you're setting yourself up for success from day one. All right, everyone, let's dive into today's lesson on how to allocate resources efficiently for expansion. Imagine you're building a house where every brick is a resource, and your goal is to make sure each one is placed in just the right spot to support your structure as it grows taller and stronger. First off, we need to understand why efficient allocation matters. Picture this. You have high-ticket items that require significant investment upfront. If not allocated properly, these could be the difference between a sturdy house and one that might collapse under pressure. So, let's start by identifying our core assets, those critical resources like personnel, technology, or financial capital that will form the backbone of your expansion. Now, as we move forward, it's important to consider where each resource can provide the most value. For instance, if you're looking to expand into new markets, investing in marketing and sales teams might be more crucial than upgrading office equipment at headquarters. Think about how each investment supports your overall growth strategy, like laying a solid foundation before adding floors. Next up, let's talk about prioritization. Not all resources are created equal, and some will have a bigger impact sooner than others. For example, hiring that high-caliber salesperson might bring in revenue faster than implementing a new CRM system. So, prioritize based on immediate return versus long-term benefits. Moreover, don't forget the nitty-gritty details like logistics and supply chain management. Ensuring these are optimized can free up resources for more strategic initiatives like expanding into new product lines or geographic areas. It's about making every resource count towards your overall goal of growth and success. Lastly, let's touch on flexibility. As you expand, be prepared to adjust how you're using your resources. Maybe that new salesperson isn't bringing in the expected revenue right away, so reallocating funds to better marketing efforts could help boost those numbers. Being nimble allows you to adapt quickly and capitalize on opportunities as they arise. In conclusion, allocating resources efficiently for expansion is all about knowing what's most important at any given moment, investing wisely, and staying flexible. By focusing on your core assets, prioritizing impactful investments, managing logistics effectively, and being ready to pivot when necessary, you can ensure your business grows steadily and sustainably. All right, everyone. Welcome back to our session on crafting a brand strategy for diverse offerings. Today, we're diving into something really exciting: how to create a cohesive brand message when you have multiple products or services that might seem very different from each other. Let's start by understanding why this is important. When your business offers a variety of things, it can be tempting to treat each product as if it's its own little island. But doing so can dilute your overall brand identity and confuse potential customers about what you stand for. So our goal today is to show you how to weave these diverse offerings into one compelling narrative. First up, let's talk about identifying the common thread that ties all of your products together. It might be something as simple as a shared target audience or a particular value proposition that applies across your lineup. For example, if you have both high-ticket items and budget-friendly options, you could focus on accessibility and affordability for everyone. Next, we need to consider how each product fits into this overall story. Some will play supporting roles while others might be the stars of the show. Your brand strategy should highlight these differences so that customers understand why they're all part of a cohesive offering. For instance, if you have a range from beginner to expert-level products, make sure your messaging reflects the progression and growth journey each product supports. Then comes positioning your brand in the market. This involves understanding not just what you sell, but how it compares to competitors and where your unique selling points lie. By clearly defining this position, you can ensure that all your offerings are seen as part of a unified brand experience rather than separate entities vying for attention. Finally, let's talk about consistency across all touchpoints. This means making sure your branding elements like logos, colors, and tone stay consistent no matter what product someone is looking at or purchasing. It's the little details that make a big difference here, from packaging design to online descriptions. Everything should feel like it belongs together. So there you have it. By following these steps, you can successfully craft a brand strategy for your diverse offerings that resonates with your audience and strengthens your overall brand identity. Remember, the key is finding those common threads and weaving them into a compelling narrative that showcases each product's unique value while maintaining a cohesive voice across all of your business. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope this session has given you some valuable insights to take back to your own branding efforts. All right, everyone, let's dive into today's topic: utilizing digital marketing techniques effectively. In our fast-paced digital world, knowing how to leverage these tools can really make your brand stand out from the crowd. So first off, we're going to talk about social media marketing. It's a cornerstone of any digital strategy because it allows you to connect with potential customers directly where they spend their time. For instance, Instagram is great for visual content and reaching younger audiences, whereas LinkedIn might be better suited for B2B connections. Next up is search engine optimization, or SEO. This technique helps your website rank higher in Google searches, making it easier for people to find you. You can achieve this by incorporating relevant keywords into your site's content and ensuring that your pages are mobile-friendly. Remember, the nitty-gritty details matter here. Even a small improvement can lead to big gains. Then we have email marketing. This is an effective way to keep customers engaged through newsletters or special promotions delivered straight to their inbox. Just make sure you're segmenting your audience so each group receives content that's relevant and interesting to them. Another technique worth mentioning is pay-per-click advertising, better known as PPC. With this method, businesses only pay when someone clicks on their ads, making it a cost-effective way to drive traffic to your site. Platforms like Google Ads or Facebook Ads can target specific demographics based on location, interests, and behaviors. Lastly, don't forget about content marketing, creating valuable material that attracts and informs potential buyers while also building trust in your brand. Whether it's blog posts, videos, podcasts, or infographics, the key is consistency and quality. By doing this, you not only provide useful information, but also position yourself as an industry leader. So there you have it, some of the top digital marketing techniques to help boost your online presence and reach more customers. Just remember, success comes from combining several strategies rather than relying on one single approach. Today, we're diving into how you can enhance your client experience through additional services. Picture this: you've got clients who already love your core offerings, but there's always room to grow that loyalty. By adding complementary services, you not only increase the value of each customer interaction, but also build lasting relationships. Let's start with understanding what these additional services might be. They could range from high-ticket items or premium upgrades to smaller add-ons that make a big difference in overall satisfaction. For example, if you're running a photography business, offering professional editing packages or printing services can elevate your client experience significantly. Next up is identifying which of these services align with your client's needs and interests. This involves some nitty-gritty market research, talking to existing clients about what they'd love to see more of, or even hosting focus groups to gather valuable feedback. Once you've got a clear idea of what's in demand, you can start planning how to integrate these services seamlessly into your current offerings. Now let's talk about the implementation process. Start small if needed. Perhaps introduce one new service at a time and gauge client response before expanding further. Make sure each additional service is clearly communicated through your website, social media platforms, or newsletters. Transparency and clear information are key here. Lastly, consider offering packages that bundle these services together for even greater value. This not only streamlines the purchasing process, but also makes it easier for clients to see the comprehensive benefits they're receiving from you. Remember, the goal is to create a cohesive experience where each step of their journey with your business feels thoughtful and tailored. In conclusion, enhancing client experience through additional services isn't just about adding more products or services. It's about deepening relationships and ensuring every interaction leaves clients feeling valued and satisfied. By carefully selecting complementary offerings that align with what your clients want most, you're positioning yourself as a go-to expert in your field while boosting loyalty and retention. So there you have it, some practical steps to take your client experience to the next level through additional services. Let's dive into how collaborating with other professionals in your industry can really boost your career growth and help you stay ahead of the game. When you work alongside people who have different skills or experiences, it opens up new opportunities for learning and innovation. Think about it like this: if you're trying to solve a high-ticket problem, wouldn't it be great to bounce ideas off someone with a fresh perspective? That's exactly what collaborating can do for you. Now, let's talk about how to build these collaborations effectively. First, identify the professionals whose expertise would complement your own skills and experiences. For instance, if you're in marketing, reaching out to a graphic designer could help you create visually stunning campaigns that really grab people's attention. Once you've found someone to collaborate with, start by establishing trust and mutual respect. Remember, it's not just about what they can do for you, but how you can both benefit from working together. Another important aspect is communication. Make sure everyone involved knows their roles clearly and understands the goals of your project. Regular check-ins will help keep things on track and address any issues early on. Also, be open to feedback. It's a crucial part of growing professionally. Don't forget, collaboration isn't just about achieving results, but also sharing knowledge and learning from each other. Now, let's consider some tools that can facilitate these collaborations. Email is great for initial outreach, but platforms like Slack or Microsoft Teams offer real-time communication, which can be really handy when you're working on tight deadlines. Additionally, using project management software such as Asana or Trello can help keep everyone organized and focused. Lastly, remember to celebrate successes together. When a collaboration reaches its goal, it's important to acknowledge the contributions of all involved. This not only strengthens your professional network, but also motivates everyone for future projects. In conclusion, collaborating with other professionals is key to advancing your career and staying relevant in today's fast-paced industry landscape. By leveraging diverse skills and expertise through effective communication and teamwork, you can achieve greater success than working alone ever could. Today, we're diving into an important topic that's going to help us all become more efficient at work: streamlining workflows to accommodate new services. So let's start by understanding what exactly we mean by workflow here. A workflow is basically a series of steps or tasks carried out in a specific order to achieve a goal. And when you streamline it, you're making those steps smoother and faster. Now, why do we need to consider streamlining workflows for new services? Well, as our company grows and evolves, we often introduce new services. These can range from high-ticket consulting projects to simpler tasks like setting up social media accounts. Each of these adds a layer of complexity to what we're already doing, so it's crucial that we figure out how to integrate them seamlessly without causing chaos or slowing down existing processes. Let's take an example. Suppose our team is used to handling regular client meetings and then suddenly starts taking on design projects as well. The first step would be identifying the key tasks involved in these new design projects, like brainstorming sessions, creating mock-ups, reviewing drafts, and finalizing designs. Once we know what those essential steps are, we can figure out how they fit into our existing workflow. Next comes the nitty-gritty of actually implementing changes. We'll need to decide whether these tasks should be done sequentially or concurrently with other activities. Maybe a brainstorming session could happen during an afternoon meeting break while regular client meetings continue as usual. By doing this, we're making sure that no part of our workflow grinds to a halt. It's also important to consider the tools and software we use for these new services. Are there any specific tools needed for design projects? Maybe something like Adobe Creative Suite or Sketch would be helpful. We should integrate these into our existing tech stack so they don't feel like separate, isolated processes. Another crucial aspect is communication between team members. If we're adding a new service that requires collaboration with other departments, clear lines of communication are key to success. Regular check-ins and updates will help everyone stay on the same page without feeling overwhelmed by additional workload. Finally, as we streamline workflows for these new services, ongoing monitoring and feedback loops are essential. We need to track progress, identify bottlenecks, and make adjustments if necessary. This way, our team can continue improving efficiency while maintaining high-quality service delivery. In conclusion, streamlining workflows to accommodate new services isn't about reinventing the wheel, but rather fitting a new spoke into an already well-oiled machine. By carefully planning how these tasks integrate with existing ones, using appropriate tools and communication channels, and continuously monitoring performance, we can ensure smooth sailing as our company grows and evolves. So there you have it. I hope this gives you some valuable insights to help streamline your team's workflows effectively. Let's dive into today's topic: implementing technology solutions for efficiency. Imagine you're running a small business and suddenly you find yourself struggling to keep up with all the tasks at hand. Maybe it's managing inventory or tracking customer interactions. Well, that's where technology solutions can come to your rescue. First off, we need to assess our current situation. What are the pain points in your workflow? Are there repetitive tasks that could be automated? Identifying these areas is key because they're often where technology can make the biggest impact. Once you've pinpointed those trouble spots, it's time to explore potential tech solutions. For instance, if inventory management is a headache, perhaps an ERP system would streamline things for you. If customer interactions are scattered across different platforms, integrating them into one CRM might do wonders. Now, when implementing these tools, don't forget about training your team. They need to understand how each new technology works and why it's beneficial for the business. Proper onboarding ensures that everyone is on board and excited about using this tech to improve efficiency. Another important aspect is data security. With so much valuable information at stake, making sure your chosen tools comply with necessary security standards is crucial. Don't just rely on what the vendor claims, dig a little deeper into their security measures. Lastly, remember to monitor progress after implementation. See how these new technologies are performing, and don't hesitate to adjust if needed. Maybe there's another tool out there that could do an even better job, or perhaps you need to tweak your current setup for optimal efficiency. So, in summary, by identifying pain points, exploring tech solutions tailored to your needs, training your team effectively, ensuring robust security measures, and continuously monitoring progress, you'll be well on your way to achieving greater efficiency through technology. All right, let's dive into something really important today: estimating costs for offering additional services. So you've got this great business going, but now you're thinking about expanding your service offerings. That's fantastic. But before you jump in head first, it's crucial to know what these new services will cost you and how they'll impact your bottom line. First things first, let's break down the costs involved. When introducing a new service, there are several components to consider: initial setup costs, ongoing operational expenses, labor requirements, materials needed, and any additional equipment or technology that might be necessary. For example, if you're thinking about offering high-ticket consultations or specialized workshops, you'll need to factor in everything from renting space for those sessions to hiring experts who can deliver them. Next up is figuring out your pricing strategy. You want to make sure the services are priced competitively while also covering all your costs and providing a profit margin. This involves looking at similar offerings in your market, understanding what customers are willing to pay, and considering how these new services fit into your overall business model. Remember, it's not just about making money. You need to ensure that these services add value for your clients and help grow your reputation. Then there's the nitty-gritty of forecasting demand and managing cash flow. When introducing a new service, especially if it's an expensive one, you might experience fluctuations in revenue as customers adjust to the changes. It's important to plan for this by setting aside reserves or adjusting your financial forecasts accordingly. Lastly, don't forget about marketing costs for promoting these new services. You'll need to invest in advertising and outreach efforts to get the word out there effectively. Consider using targeted social media ads or collaborating with influencers who can help spread the news about your expanded offerings. So, as you can see, estimating costs isn't just about adding up numbers. It's about understanding all aspects of what makes a service successful and sustainable. By carefully considering each element from setup to ongoing expenses and marketing efforts, you'll be better equipped to offer these new services with confidence. That's it for today's lesson on estimating costs for additional services. I hope this gives you some valuable insights as you expand your business offerings. Today, we're diving into how businesses can forecast revenue growth through diversification. So let's get started by understanding what exactly diversification means in this context. Diversification is about spreading your business investments or product lines across different markets or industries to reduce risk and increase potential profits. Now, why would a company want to do this? Well, it's pretty simple, really. By adding new products or services, you're tapping into additional customer bases, which can lead to increased sales volume. Plus, diversification helps mitigate risks associated with relying solely on one product line or market trend. It's all about not putting all your eggs in one basket. Let's talk about how to forecast the revenue growth from this diversification strategy. First off, you'll want to assess your current financial situation and identify areas where you can reasonably expand without overextending yourself financially. This might mean looking at existing strengths within your business or identifying adjacent markets that could benefit from your expertise. Once you've identified potential new product lines or services, the next step is market research. You need to gather data on these new markets things like customer demand, competition landscape, and any regulatory hurdles that might impact your entry. This information will help you make informed decisions about which diversification paths are most promising for revenue growth. After gathering this intel, it's time to model potential revenues from these new ventures. You can use tools like the payback period or net present value to estimate how long it will take for these investments to become profitable and what kind of return on investment you might expect. Remember, diversification isn't just about increasing revenue, but also ensuring that this growth comes at a reasonable cost. As you're modeling these forecasts, don't forget to factor in potential synergies between your existing business lines and the new ones you're considering. Synergies can enhance overall profitability and reduce costs through shared resources or expertise. For example, if you're already selling high-ticket items online, perhaps expanding into complementary lower-priced products could leverage existing customer trust. Finally, when you've completed your forecast models, it's important to set realistic expectations. Diversification might not always lead to immediate growth, but can build long-term stability and resilience for your business. Keep in mind that it may take time to fully realize the benefits of these new ventures. In conclusion, forecasting revenue growth through diversification involves carefully assessing market potential, modeling financial outcomes, and setting achievable goals. By following this process, businesses can effectively expand their offerings while managing risks and enhancing profitability over the long term. Let's dive into this important topic of providing consistent quality service to our clients. Imagine if every time you went out for coffee, it tasted slightly different, sometimes great, other times just okay. Wouldn't that frustrate you? Well, the same applies when we're dealing with our clients. They expect a certain level of service each and every time they interact with us. So how do we achieve this consistency? First off, let's establish clear guidelines or protocols for handling common client interactions. For instance, if it's a high-ticket sale, we might have specific steps to ensure the process is seamless from start to finish. This could include everything from initial contact through delivery and follow-up support. Next, training plays a huge role in maintaining quality service. We need to make sure that everyone on our team understands these guidelines inside out. Regular training sessions can help reinforce key practices and update procedures as needed. It's also crucial for managers to lead by example, showing the team what great customer service looks like day to day. Another important aspect is gathering feedback from clients themselves. This could be through surveys, direct conversations, or even social media platforms. By listening closely to our clients' experiences, we can identify areas that need improvement and celebrate successes as well. Remember, happy clients often become loyal advocates for your business, so it's worth the effort. Lastly, let's talk about adapting to changing circumstances. While consistency is key, there might be times when you need to adjust your approach slightly. For example, if a client has an urgent need or special request, being flexible and responsive can make all the difference in maintaining their trust and satisfaction. In conclusion, providing consistent quality service isn't just about following rules, it's about understanding your client's needs deeply and meeting them with excellence every time you interact. By setting clear guidelines, training your team thoroughly, listening to feedback, and adapting when necessary, we can ensure our clients feel valued and well-served each step of the way. So today, we're diving into how to handle feedback and complaints effectively. It's an essential skill for anyone in customer service or leadership roles. First off, remember that every interaction is an opportunity to learn and improve. When you receive feedback, start by acknowledging it sincerely. Say something like, "Thank you for bringing this to my attention," or "I appreciate your feedback." This shows respect and opens the door for a constructive dialogue. Next, take some time to really understand what's being said. Don't jump to conclusions or make assumptions. Listen actively, ask clarifying questions if needed, and empathize with the customer's perspective. For example, You might say, "I can see why that would be frustrating," or "Thank you for sharing your experience." Once you've listened, it's time to respond thoughtfully. Offer a solution where possible, even if it means escalating the issue to someone else who can help. If immediate resolution isn't feasible, provide a time frame for when they can expect action. Remember to keep your language positive and professional throughout. Lastly, follow up. This shows commitment and care. Check in with the customer after you've taken steps to address their concern and ask if there's anything more you can do to help. This could be as simple as sending an email or making a quick call. By handling feedback and complaints effectively, not only are you addressing immediate issues, but also building trust and loyalty with your customers. It's all about turning challenges into opportunities for growth. Well, hello there. Today, we're diving into an important topic that might feel a bit tricky at first glance, but is absolutely essential for anyone involved in business operations: ensuring compliance with state-specific requirements. Let's break this down step by step so you can see it isn't as daunting as it seems. First off, why do we need to care about these rules? Well, every state has its own set of regulations that businesses must follow, whether they're dealing with sales tax, labor laws, or environmental protection measures. So understanding the specific requirements for your location is crucial to avoid fines and legal issues down the line. Now, let's talk about how you can stay on top of these compliance needs. Start by identifying what aspects are relevant to your business. Are you selling products, hiring employees, operating in a specific industry like healthcare or construction? Once you know where you're at, look up the state laws that apply to those areas. Next, it's helpful to join local business organizations or networks. They often have resources and updates on compliance changes that can be invaluable for keeping your company up to date. Plus, networking with other businesses facing similar challenges can provide a wealth of insight and support. Another great step is to regularly review your operations against these laws. This could mean setting aside time each quarter to audit your processes or hiring an expert consultant to do it for you. The key here is consistency to make sure compliance checks are part of your regular routine. Lastly, don't forget about staying informed about any changes in legislation. Laws can change pretty quickly and without warning sometimes, so keeping your ear to the ground on new developments is crucial. You might even consider signing up for newsletters or alerts from relevant state agencies. So there you have it for main steps to ensure your business stays compliant with state-specific requirements. Identify relevant laws, network with others in similar situations, regularly audit your operations, and stay informed about changes. By following these guidelines, you'll be well on your way to navigating compliance smoothly and confidently. Thanks for joining me today. I hope this helps make the process feel a bit more manageable. So, let's talk about managing risk through proper documentation practices today. When you're handling important business documents, it can feel overwhelming, but having solid procedures in place helps keep everything smooth and secure. To start off, we need to understand what risks are involved with improper documentation. This could include losing critical data or making mistakes that could cost your company money or reputation-wise. First up, let's discuss the importance of maintaining accurate records. Every document you create should be clear and concise, so there's no room for misinterpretation down the line. Keeping track of who created each document, when it was made, and any changes that were made is key to being able to trace issues back to their source if needed. Next, we'll talk about version control. This helps you keep tabs on different versions of a document so everyone's working off the latest copy. It also means you can roll back to previous versions if necessary. Think about it like layers in a cake. Each layer represents an update or revision, and by keeping them organized, you're ensuring that no one gets confused. Now let's dive into digital signatures. These are becoming increasingly important as more documents go digital. Digital signatures provide proof of authenticity and help ensure the document hasn't been tampered with since it was signed. It adds another layer of security to your documentation practices, which is crucial in today's world where cyber threats are always lurking. Lastly, don't forget about regular audits. These should be conducted periodically to review your documentation procedures for compliance and accuracy. They're like a health checkup for your documents, helping you spot any issues early so they can be addressed before becoming major problems. So there you have it. By implementing these practices, you'll be better equipped to manage the risks associated with document management. Remember, proper documentation isn't just about ticking boxes. It's about protecting your business and ensuring everything runs smoothly from start to finish. Thank you all for joining me on this journey to grow and expand your notary business fast. Over the past few weeks, we've covered a wide range of topics aimed at helping you diversify your services and take your business to new heights. We began by understanding the basics of business expansion and setting clear goals for growth in your notary practice. Then, we dove into legal requirements for additional services, making sure you know how to stay compliant with state laws and regulations as you introduce new offerings. Next came identifying opportunities for diversification by exploring emerging trends in notary services and analyzing market needs. We discussed strategic planning, including developing a comprehensive business plan and allocating resources efficiently to support your growth initiatives. Marketing and promotion were key topics too, focusing on crafting a strong brand strategy and effectively utilizing digital marketing techniques to reach new clients. Building relationships with clients and partners was another important aspect, enhancing the client experience through additional services and collaborating with other professionals in the industry. Managing operations for growth involved streamlining workflows and implementing technology solutions for efficiency, while financial management covered estimating costs and forecasting revenue growth through diversification. Customer service excellence was emphasized to ensure consistent quality and effective handling of feedback and complaints. Lastly, we looked at legal considerations for notary services expansion, ensuring compliance with state-specific requirements and managing risk through proper documentation practices. The most important takeaways from this course are the practical steps you can now apply to expand your business portfolio. Remember to stay compliant, identify opportunities based on market needs, plan strategically, promote effectively, manage operations efficiently, handle finances wisely, maintain excellent customer service, and build strong relationships with partners and clients. I encourage you to put what you've learned into action and watch your notary business thrive. As you embark on this exciting journey of growth and expansion, I wish you all the success in the world. If you enjoyed the course or have any feedback, please don't hesitate to connect with me personally or leave a review. Let's continue learning from each other as we grow our businesses together. Thank you once again for being part of this amazing community.